Wait, before I even start, do you know someone has been planning their next move toward you? Because the cards do. Let's get into it. This person is juggling, and you are the weight they cannot put down. There is a tension they live inside every single day. Between the life they built, the routines, the responsibilities, the carefully maintained exterior, and something that refuses to behave. Something that will not be managed or minimized or filed neatly alongside everything else. That something is you. You spill over every edge. You tip every balance. Every single time they think they found their footing, you come back into their mind and the whole equilibrium shifts again. Not because you're doing anything, just because you exist. Just because the thought of you is enough to destabilize everything they thought they had under control. And here's what I need you to understand about the mixed signals, the push and pull, the moments of closeness followed by sudden distance. That is not indifference. That is the opposite of indifference. That is someone so overwhelmed by the size of what they feel that they keep overcorrecting, keep pulling back right when they want to move forward, keep choosing caution right when every instinct is telling them to reach. They care too much to act normally around it. That has always been the problem. And underneath all that careful juggling, underneath the balancing act they perform every day, something is shifting, a decision forming, the slow, inevitable recognition that the balancing act cannot hold forever. Something has to give. And the thing they are least willing to lose, the weight they will carry before they put anything else down, is you. And then this card lands and changes the entire tone. Because after all that tension, after all that barely contained chaos, comes something unexpectedly tender, unexpectedly reverent. This is how they see you. Not casually, not conveniently, with something close to awe. You are their hope, their light, the thing they look toward when everything else goes heavy and dark and complicated. Your presence in their life, even on the edges of it, even in the incomplete way it currently exists, restores something in them that they had quietly, privately accepted was permanently gone. There is a healing quality to you that they have never encountered anywhere else, in anyone else. And for someone who built their whole survival strategy around not needing to be restored, around being fine, around managing alone, that is both the most beautiful and the most disorienting thing they have ever experienced. You became essential without asking permission. You walked into their world and simply were. And that was enough to rewrite something fundamental in them. Enough to make the future feel like something worth moving toward, rather than simply enduring. And every quiet night, every still moment when the noise of daily life fades and the truth becomes impossible to outrun, they look toward you. The way you look toward a star, with their whole being reaching, with something that feels almost like prayer. You are what they are wishing for every single day. Don't take that lightly. Right in the center, the absolute heart of this reading, and it hits like a spark hitting dry wood. This is pure desire, not complicated desire, not guilty desire, not wanting that comes wrapped in 100 qualifications and footnotes and reasons why it's probably not a good idea. This is the original wanting, the first breath of it, clean and direct and completely undiluted by anything the mind tries to add afterward. This person wants you in a way that bypasses thought entirely. It lives in the body, in the instinct, in the place that already knows the answer before the question is even finished forming. They are ignited by you, by the specific reality of you, by what it would mean, what it would actually physically feel like to finally close the distance that has been sitting between you like a breath held for far too long. And here is what makes this card so significant. Right here in the center of everything. This is new beginning energy. This is not recycled feeling dressed up in familiar clothes. This is not attachment from the past finding a new excuse to linger. This is a spark that has been growing, quietly, steadily, relentlessly, fed by every moment of tension, every near miss, every conversation that ended before it said everything it needed to say, until it became something with real heat, real force, real weight. The desire is not forming. It is already formed, fully, completely, with a specificity and a clarity that leaves no room for ambiguity. It is not a question of if. It has not been a question of if for a long time. It is only a question of when.
Now, stay right here with me, because this card is the one that exposes the full depth of what is happening inside them, and I need you to receive it completely, because it is more intense than you might expect. They are addicted to you. Not poetically, not as a figure of speech. The actual pattern of addiction, the craving, the loop, the inability to simply stop reaching, is present in how they experience the thought of you. They get something when you're near, when you message, when you exist in their orbit in any capacity. A specific relief, a specific rightness, like something slotting into place that spends the rest of the time slightly out of alignment. And when that's gone, when there's silence, when there's distance, they feel it like withdrawal, like something physically absent from the air around them, like the temperature of the room changed and nobody else noticed. They tried to manage it. I want you to know that. They genuinely, effortfully tried to get perspective, tried to distract themselves with other things, other people, other versions of a life that doesn't have this particular complication at the center of it. None of it worked. Because you are not a passing interest that patience and distance will eventually dissolve. You are not a phase. You are not something they will get over if they just give it enough time. You are a soul-level pull. And the chains in this card, the obsession, the attachment, the absolute inability to walk away and simply be fine, those are not a prison. They are a confession. Nobody gets this consumed by someone they don't genuinely, irreversibly, completely need. This level of feeling doesn't develop for people who are merely available or convenient or pleasant to be around. It develops for the one, the specific, unrepeatable, undeniable one. And the most striking thing, the thing that makes this card in this position so revealing, they know. They feel the full weight of this attachment and they recognize exactly what it is. They are not confused. They are not wondering whether they're attached. They are uncomfortably, vividly, almost painfully aware of how far gone they are. What they're working through is not the feeling.
The feeling has been settled for longer than they've admitted even to themselves. What they're working through is the surrender. And the final card says, the surrender is here.
And this is the card that moves everything. This is where every ounce of tension and longing and fire and obsession stops being internal and becomes directional. This person is standing at their own horizon right now, and I need you to understand what that means. They are not standing there wondering, not wishing, not hoping vaguely in the direction of something they're too afraid to name. They are planning, forward-facing, intentional, purposeful. This is the energy of someone who has already made the internal decision, quietly, firmly, completely, and is now working out the practical reality of it. The how, the when, the specific steps between where they currently are and where they are absolutely determined to be. The ships are already in the water. That detail matters. They are not standing on the shore deciding whether to sail. They are not still weighing up options. The decision was made. It was made the moment the fire became too large to contain. The moment the star showed them what was worth reaching for. The moment the addiction made walking away genuinely impossible. The ships launched, quietly, without announcement. And they are moving toward you with a speed and a certainty that this situation has never carried before. What they are building toward, the vision they are standing on that horizon mapping out, is something real, something that assumes a future, something that presupposes you are in it, not as a possibility they're keeping loosely in mind, as the whole point, as the reason the horizon is worth facing at all. Something is expanding, growing beyond what it has been allowed to be until now. And that expansion is moving, directly, deliberately, unstoppably, toward you.